Grab your strap and lay onto your back. With the strap, hug your right knee to your chest and then unravel the strap so that you can lasso your right foot. Reach your right foot toward the sky. And if your knee's still bent a lot, slide the leg forward so you can straighten your leg there. Okay, and if you're comfortable, you can keep your left knee bent, planting the foot, or extend your left leg forward. You can try it and then go back to the bent knee position as well. But just holding more at neutral, this right leg, flexing the foot and noticing where you feel the stretch or the strengthening of the leg because you're in this position. And placing your straps into your right hand for a moment. We'll keep this right leg straight up and down and just turn your right knee and your right toes to the right. So you're externally rotating the leg. Notice where you feel it. Did it change in the back of the leg or does it feel the same? And then bring the knee, the toes back to more of a neutral position. Then turn the knee and the toes in. So internally rotate the leg. And does that feel different in the back of the leg? And then come back to neutral and do it one more time. So externally rotate. It's like there's 3 positions here. So you're turning the leg right, back to neutral, and turning the leg in. Now, as you do it one more time, noticing when you move your right leg, how does it affect your left leg or other parts of the body? So there's an action that you're creating in the right leg, but what's the reaction in the other parts of the body? Okay. Keep the leg more at neutral. Plug your left shoulder blade and your left hip down, and then open your leg out to the right without tipping so much over toward the right hip. Try to keep the hips more square to the ceiling. And firming the left shoulder blade, the left glute down. Take a deep breath in. Through your nose, exhale. Bring the leg back up. Plant your left foot if the leg is straight. Unlasso the right foot and we'll switch sides. So you'll take the strap around your left foot now. This side could be different, right? Keeping the right foot planted or extending that leg out. And you might have to send this leg forward even if you didn't have to do the lifted leg on the first side. And holding for a moment at the neutral position, noticing where you feel the stretch or the strengthening of this posture. Take a breath. And place your straps in your left hand. Keep the leg straight up and down and just turn the knee, the toes out. As if we are really embracing, so come back to neutral and then turn in this idea, this philosophy of Sthira Sukham Asanam, postures being a balance of effort and ease. I think there's 3 parts to this practice of noticing, keep going on your own back and forth, and then come back to neutral. So noticing in each posture, what is the balance of effort and ease? Do you need more ease in the posture as you open the leg up? Do you need more engagement, more strength in the posture? And in this pose in particular, when you open the leg out to the left, you might need a little bit more strength on the right side so that the hips stay stable and square to the ceiling, and you can get more of the opening in the ease in the left side because you're maintaining a accountability on the right side of the body. One more breath. Inhale, lift the leg up. Plant the right foot, plant the left foot, and you can put the strap to the side for right now. Okay. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock from side to side. Cross out your shins, and you can rock up to a seat or roll over and come up to a seat. Swing your legs back behind you and come onto your hands and knees for a moment. Spread your fingers. Okay, plug the root knuckle of your index finger down more without locking your elbow joints. Okay, and as you maintain this, look out in front of your hands about a foot or so you have a neutral curve in your neck. Pull your navel up just enough that you feel supported through your core. And then extend the left leg back. Right? Hips stay neutral. Use your core to stabilize that pull in. And in a sense, hug your legs to the midline. Right? Now, as you hold this, not dropping the left hip and not lifting the left hip, keep it more neutral, stabilized, and just see, can you turn the left knee, left toes out? It's not going to be a big movement. Nothing else is moving. And then turn the knee, the toes in without dropping the hip, because the leg and the hips can move separately. Right? Turn the knee, the toes out. It's not going to be a big movement like if you were to open the hip up, but you might be feeling it in a different way. Just try that out. Let's do the other side. So lower the left knee, do all those things, look out in front of your hands, plug the root knuckle of the index finger down without locking your elbow joints. Plug the navel up so your back and your core are stabilized. And then reaching the right leg up, neutral to the floor. What happens a lot is the left hip pops out on this side with the left leg down. Hug into the midline. So hug the right leg in a little bit, hug the left hip in, stabilize the hips, and to see if you can externally rotate the right leg without moving the hip. And then internally rotate the leg. And going back and forth. Okay. Because the reaction may want to be like letting your left hip pop out when you move the leg, but can you stabilize and just really focus on the action of the right leg moving? Okay, great. Now lower the knee, bring your blocks over. And let's do the blocks on the second height. If you need some padding for your knees, grab your blanket and put the blanket under your knees. Step your right foot forward. Reach your chest forward, lift your chin, inhale. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, bend the knee, lift your chin, lift your gaze. Exhale, straighten your right leg, and let's stay there. Right, the same idea, stabilize the hips, hug into the midline. Notice the neutral position in your right leg. Hug in, and then turn the right knee, the right toes out. Notice how the reaction might be the hips wanting to jet to the left. Try to hug that in, try to stabilize, and just move the leg. And now with the floor, your mat under your right heel, do you feel it differently? We've done this action a few times now, but do you feel it differently now? Is it more intense? Is it easier? Do you feel it in a different location of your body because now your heel has the floor under it? Okay, and then turn it to neutral and turn it back in. There's a lot of components that can affect the same movement, like the position you're in doing the movement can change almost the reaction to it. Come back to neutral, take one breath. Bend the knee, rock forward, and let's just switch sides. So step your right knee back, step your left foot forward, let your pelvis move forward, lift your chin, inhale. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Let's do it again. Inhale, bend your knee, long breath. Exhale, straighten the leg. Go slow. One more time. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Now stay there. You're going to round your back so much. If that's happening, you can put the blocks up a little bit higher. Okay, hug the right hip in. Hug the left leg towards center. Stabilize your hips as you flex your foot. Just turn your knee or toes out. Notice as you breathe. And then turn the knee, the toes in. And the balance of comfort and accountability. Okay, moving to the edge, not going beyond that. And then connecting to the part of yourself as you go back and forth one more time that can observe all of this. There's almost like a center position of being able to observe the balance between effort and ease in every posture. And come back to neutral. Inhale. Bend the knee. Exhale. And then you move the blocks up to the highest level. Lift the back knee and step forward for a moment. Walking the feet back so that your feet are hip distance apart and the blocks are about shoulder distance apart. Come up onto your fingertips, your thumb tips, and do your best to align your wrists under your shoulders and your ankles under your hips. right? So instead of having the feet way back or the hands way forward, you're aligning like that. Same stuff, right? Lengthen your spine here, tone your navel in, shift weight to your right foot, and extend your left leg up. It's going to be a little harder now. We're adding the balance component. Okay, but hug that right hip in, squeeze the left leg to the midline without dropping the left hip. So you're not dropping, then opening the hip, stabilize. Just see, can you turn the leg out, the knee out, the toes out, and then turn in. Do it one more time. So this pose is asking a little more of us because there's balance and it's a little bit more challenging. Okay. Find neutral, hug the right hip in, lean weight back to the right heel and see if you can reach your right hand forward. And just hold all that. Hug the right arm to the midline, hug the left leg to the midline, hug the right hip to the midline and tone your core. 2, 1, release your right hand, release your left foot. Let's do the other side, right? And find your gaze out in front of your blocks, your hands about a foot. Tone your belly. Lift your right leg up. Long, smooth breaths. Hug the left hip in. Hug the right leg in. Tone your belly. Shift weight back. And then try to do that thing where you're externally rotating, internally rotating the right leg without moving anything else. It's challenging. It's asking maybe to confront a pattern of movement. Hey, hug into the midline, shift weight to the left heel and reach your left arm forward and hug that left arm to the midline like you're hugging the right leg to the midline. Left hip to the midline. Hold. 2, 1. Lower the foot, lower the hand, and then let the blocks just kind of be there on their own. Fold forward for 3 breaths and let your arms hang, let your shoulders hang. Slow your breath down. 1 more inhale, 1 more exhale. To lift up halfway and just move the blocks off the mat. Come onto your hands and knees, table pose. Spread your fingers. Okay, plug the root knuckle of the index finger down without locking the elbow joints. Reach your chest forward on the inhale. Round your back like cat as you exhale. 1 more inhale, reach the heart forward. With your toes curled under, shift hips back and up, downward facing dog pose. And keep plugging the root knuckle of your index finger down without locking your elbow joint. Can you press your hands down and forward? And then look at your legs, look at your toes, your knees. Can you move them more in a neutral position so they're not externally rotating or internally rotating here? If you notice that in your knees and your toes now, you may not be able to see your hips, but feel your hips. Could you move the outer hip back, like it's being magnetized back, your outer hips, and your inner thighs back the same amount? Like you're descending both of those parts of your body back, like they're being magnetized behind you to help you lengthen your spine. Noticing the reactions in the spine and other parts of the body. 1 deep breath in. 1 deep breath out. Come down onto your knees. You can swing your legs around. Take your hands out in front of you. And as slowly, as gracefully as you can, round your back and roll down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And cross your right leg over your left leg. You can keep the feet apart or you can hook the right toes around. Place your elbows on the mat to pick your hips up and move them to the right 2 inches. Then open your arms in a goal post and allow your knees to lower to the left. If this feels like it's just too much, the floor feels really far away, you can grab one of your blocks and put the block or a blanket or a pillow on the left side of your mat so that when you lower the knees, they land on something. Because really, I want you to give yourself an opportunity to soften as much as you can into this pose. Soften your belly. Maybe look over towards your right elbow. 1 more deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. Very slowly inhale, lift your legs, unwind, and then move your hips back to center. And let's do the other side. So you'll lift your legs up, cross the left leg over, take your variation, place your elbows down to help you lift your hips to the left, 2 inches, then arms into a goalpost. As you exhale, start to lower the knees to the right any amount, and you might use the prop, you might not use the prop on the side. Option to look over towards your left elbow. And slow your breath down. Steady your gaze. And what does it mean in this pose to find the balance of between effort and ease? Every pose has different dynamics and intentions. Are you holding on when this pose actually is calling you to, it's asking you to be a little bit more easeful, to let go a little bit more? Or is the holding on necessary? Because sometimes it is. And then very slowly inhale, lift up, unwind, and just take a moment there. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stretch your legs out. Take your arms down by your sides. If you'd like to cover up, grab your blanket and cover up. And lying in Shavasana for a few moments of rest. Making yourself comfortable as best as you can. And as you just soften into this position, allowing your breath to soften, allowing your belly to soften. Read a passage from Meditations on Intention and Being by Rolf Gates. It says, what leads to the heart? Ethical precepts and energy-raising practices move us out of the powerless place of victim, empowering us to take an ever-increasing responsibility for the choices that we make. The mindfulness practices of asana, pranayama, breathing, and meditation deepen both our capacity for and our commitment to conscious choice making. Our own suffering brings us eventually to the practice of compassion. All of these practices help us to understand the extent of human suffering in the world and inspire within us the desire to be of service. At this point, we are all small whirlwinds of potential energy seeking appropriate expression. Loving kindness is that expression. As you continue to lay in Shavasana just for a few more moments, start to bring to mind's eye somebody in your life, whether it's past or present, a relationship, a person that you've had or that you are in now. Bring them into your mind's eye, one person. Maybe it's just the first person that comes to your mind. And then once you have them in your mind's eye, place them in your heart. And with love and kindness toward this person, repeat silently to yourself, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you know love and kindness. And if you'd like to rest for a few more moments, feel free to do that. When you're ready, carefully roll to your right side, come to seated, and have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I will see you next week on Sundays with Amber. And remember to go to my website, sundayswithamber.com, to check out other opportunities to practice with me.